introduction that anybody has to you is your resume, and that's basically your public personality, except for business things like LinkedIn. That should also be really tight and keep it together. You want your resume to be as perfect as possible. And I'm going to give you detailed orientation if somebody wants to take some notes, just based on my 20 years of experience, 23 years, what's worked for me and what works for my clients. The resume is your first impression, and it needs to be excellent. And I'm not saying it has to be fancy, it doesn't have to have pictures on it, you don't have to have a video interview, but it should be really simple, hard-hitting, to the point, and get the facts across that people need. What I'm going to recommend to you, if you're planning on updating your resume, possibly in a job search, possibly just thinking about opportunities down the road, possibly interviewing internally at your own company, I'm going to recommend that you start with a fresh piece of paper. Because what happens, particularly if you've been around for a while, it's patch on, add on, all different fonts. It gets real ugly. It gets not too good. And that's most of the resumes I see are not too good. So I would recommend starting with a fresh piece of paper. And when you work on the resume, I recommend simplicity. I'm not into italics. I'm not into underlines. I'm not into all different types of fonts. Just keep it simple. One simple font, Times New Roman. Maybe you could bold certain things that are critical. And what you want to do is tell your story. So let's talk about what's needed in the resume. And the best way to go there is to figure out, why do my clients hire people? What are the factors involved in all my clients? And even those of you who hire, you might not have brought it out this way, but these are the factors that everybody uses. I call it the 4 cylinders. And you want to hit on as many of the 4 cylinders as possible. You might hit on 2, 3, or 4 to nail the opportunity, but you want to hit on as many as possible. So it's track record, obviously, that's the key. It's turf knowledge, if you're in sales. Mainly I'm talking in sales now. Who you've sold to. It's technology knowledge, what you've sold, and then your personal attributes. So it's what you've sold, who you've sold to, what you accomplished, and what you bring to the table. So what I recommend is just start it off simple, name, address, phone number, email at the top centered. Move to the left, cap and bold the word profile. And what I want you to do is net it out with 4 or 5 bullets, simple 1-sentence bullets, why this company needs to talk to you. And why do you have to net it out simply? Because our clients have ADHD. They don't read long resumes. They don't read paragraphs. You have to net it out for them, right at the top, why they need to talk to you. So have 1 bullet under the word profile, talking about a consistent track record of success in technology sales. And then 1 bullet talking about depth of knowledge of these types of technologies, enterprise application integration, or professional services, or ERP, database. Whatever you've been involved in, talk about the technologies that you've worked in. Not that you're a tech guru, but at least you understand these niches. 3rd one, talk about the clients that you've sold to, whether it's commercial, or systems integrators, or federal, or major accounts. And put 1 line talking about experience selling to federal, including intelligence, DoD, civilian, integrators, whatever it is that you've sold to. And then 1 bullet talking about what your biggest fan would say about you in terms of what makes you different than the rest. What do you bring to the table in terms of your personal attributes that makes you stand out from the crowd? And by that I'm talking about work ethic, passion, integrity, competitive spirit. You know, anything that you think about that you would say, that, I know that it sounds like rhetoric, but think about what makes you different and put that out. So what we have started out with is the net at the top of our resume of why at least they should talk to you. And that's the basic goal of your resume, is to get your foot in the door. And typically, resumes are the reason not to talk to someone. They find something in there they didn't like. You use the word business development. They don't like that. They like the word sales, okay? And whatever it is, they usually are looking for excuses not to talk to people. And let's be frank, they're in the catbird seat. That's the hiring manager, so they think they're pretty hot. And no, I don't like this, you know. And you got to make it so they're like, oh yeah, I have to talk to that person. So we've started off with the profile. Now we're going to move into professional experience. So cap and word, bold, that word, professional experience. And let's talk chronologically about what we've done. There are many other types of resumes that are not chronological. I hate them, okay? And they talk about all your attributes and the different things you did, and then maybe at the bottom they'll tell where you did it. But the problem is it's like the old Chinese restaurant menus, which most of you are too old to remember, which is one from column A and one from column B. And you don't know what relates to what, okay? So you've done all these great things, but where did you do it? Don't like that kind of resume. I like a chronological resume. Make it simple. Where have you been? And what did you accomplish at those places? So write out the dates. I'm also into months and years. I like to know the details. You want to write your resume for the hiring manager that's into details, because you will get through that person. They might not need it, but you'll get through everyone. So put the details. Here's the months and the years that I worked at this company. Here's the name of the company. Here's the job title. The most important thing is we don't have to use